Hello everybody, Jake, your resident content cowboy here and current CEO of Pokemon Unite. That's right, you have not heard wrong. I have been made the CEO of Pokemon Unite. And while that is true, it is also a lie. However, in this video, I'm going to talk about everything I would do as the CEO of Unite to help right the ship, fix this game, and hopefully send it towards better waters. Yeehaw, everybody, let's get into it. And thank you for coming to my first all-hands-on press conference. I don't think that's how you talk about press conferences. I'm already crushing it. There's a lot that we're going to need to tackle inside of Pokemon Unite. So I've got this broken up into things I'm going to try to get done day one, essentially kind of like early on in my residency here as CEO, then kind of our midterm goals and our long-term ambitions for Pokemon Unite. So make sure you have your Ender notes ready and we are all on board to talk about this. I've broken my goals up into very short-term things that I can hopefully get done on day one, week one, things that are happening right away so you can see that we're making changes to Pokemon Unite. I also have some midterm goals that I think are coming very, very soon, close to the political election midterms. I don't know why I call them midterm goals, but here we are. These are things that I want to get done pretty quickly after becoming CEO, but I recognize they're not going to happen overnight. Then I have long-term goals and ambitions for Pokemon Unite that I think will take this game into the future in some pretty exciting ways. So make sure you're following along, get your Ender notes ready because we have a lot of stuff to cover. There are a ton of places we could start with, but let's just start with this. I want to start with currency inside Pokemon Unite. Gems, coins, tickets. That's it. We are not having any other currency in the game. Currently in the game, we also have Hollowware tickets, fashion tickets, bunches of other things come up, but right now it's just going to be tickets, coins, and gems. Item enhancers will be here for the time being, but fashion tickets and Hollowware tickets are going away immediately. I will create some sort of legacy system. You had a decent amount of these. You'll be able to pick out some Hollowware and then they will be gone. These are not going to be part of the game anymore because we don't know what we're doing with them and they have not been updated at all. They're gone. Next, we're going to be putting a cowboy hat on Phalanx. Day one, that is happening as part of my administration. After that, we are going to be delivering a roadmap. I want this roadmap out within the first week of me working at Pokemon Unite. This is what is coming in the future for Unite. Some of our short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals for the game. You have an idea of what Pokemon are coming. We're going to tease some cool stuff happening with the game, and we will have consistent roadmaps and updates for what's happening in Unite. Next, for anyone streaming in the Twitch category for Unite, we will have Twitch drops enabled for the game, and they will actually be good, decent drops so that streamers and people who support the game can be supported by Unite, and you can be rewarded for watching and keeping up with it. We'll have some really cool drops for the Championship Series as well. We are going to be giving some things away because I know it's going to make the community happy. I recognize it doesn't affect our bottom line in a positive way dollar-wise right away, but I know that this will make the player base more excited to engage with the game. It will help all of our content creators continue to be excited about the game and keep making content, and it will reward everybody and yes, hurt us a little in the short term. I recognize how that works, but to be fair, these are digital things we're going away. I'm not printing t-shirts right here. I'm giving you a t-shirt that says UCS at NAIC, and you get to get that just by watching the broadcast. Stuff like that, but as well as things like Pokemon licenses, all of that will be part of Twitch drops. They will be updated every single season, and for people who stream consistently with our game, there will be even better rewards. They will be some sort of Unite partner, and watching a Unite partner stream, you can get some cool rewards there too. I want to make sure the people that support this game are able to thrive. Next, our energy reward system has not been updated in forever. Yes, this is more of a midterm goal, but I want this to happen immediately. We're getting all of the next gen thrown into this right away. I don't care what gen they pick. Pick Gen 7, doesn't matter to me. We're getting a bunch of new emblems thrown into the game, and because some players in this game have 5,096 energy rewards that they could possibly pull. We're getting rid of the 30 per day cap when the new bunch of emblems comes out, and you're able to pull a ton right away. I have some ideas to revamp emblems and revamp this system in some really cool ways. I think emblems could do so much more, but that is not a short-term goal. However, having some people put some Pokemon on an emblem, give them some stats that make sense, and add them into the game is a short-term goal, and it needs to happen. Next, our Unite membership club. Our Unite membership club reduced the amount of gems it gave for its subscription recently. I am reverting that. That was a mistake in my opinion, and we're going to keep giving the same amount of gems for the membership club. If you are supporting this game with $10 every month, you are going to get your money's worth with the Unite membership club, or Unite club membership. I apologize to everyone involved. We'll put a cowboy hat on Cinderace for my mistake right there. I also will be trying to figure out one other way that would make the Unite club membership better. I liked the exclusive holoware it gave, and I would consider bringing that back, but one thing I'm going to do right away is increase the amount of gems this gives you. Next, the Lucky Ice Pops will be renamed to Ice Pops. You, as a consumer, will decide whether they are lucky or not. Also, in my first week, if you've been playing the game for a while, you will get a loyalty reward that will allow you to take one license, any license in the game, and obtain it for free, just as a way of saying thank you for supporting Pokemon Unite. You will get that as a loyalty reward. For players who are coming back to the game, I will have something coming up soon because we have some really cool updates coming to the game soon, and I think a lot of players will be returning. Also, this is more of a mid-tier update, but this is something I've really wanted for a long time. There are many Unite licenses in the game, and I think for a new player coming to the game, it can be a bit overwhelming. So there will be packages where you could pick these up as sort of like a, you want to buy all the year 1 Pokemon, you want to buy all the year 2 Pokemon, year 3, etc., and you will have a hefty discount for doing that. I want a new player who hops into the game to be able to say, oh, all these Pokemon, it would cost me hundreds of dollars to buy them or whatever, but I can throw 20 bucks at the game and I can get all of the year 1 Pokemon. We will hammer out the details, but there should be packages for people who are newer to the game so they don't feel overwhelmed when they get into Unite. Now, there's so much more I want to do early, but that's a lot of what we're going to get done on week 1. And I know everyone's going to be all hands on deck over here. So after that, we have some goals right on the horizon, kind of our mid-tier goals that I'm very excited to share with all of you. Our first mid-tier goal is our first huge update that is coming to the game. This will not be a massive China update or anything like that, but we are going to be having a big update. We are going to be having a big theme change to our map. So it's not going to be insanely different right away because I recognize that would have a huge cost, but we are going to have a new Pokemon in the center of that map. Given what we've seen in China, maybe we could get Kyogre or Groudon into the center of the map and change a lot of what's going on for a big update in our next ranked season. If it's not the next ranked season, it is the one after that. We're gonna have a huge update. We're gonna give it a name and everything. And then boom, cowboy hat on Ceruledge. With the new themed map change, as well as some changes around the map, it won't just be theming. We'll have different wild Pokemon and some cool stuff happening there. We will also tie that in with a season reset, and at the same time, we will be doing a ranked reset. A full ranked reset. I will be resetting the rank of every player in the game. Some players that might drive away, but I think for a lot of people, it's going to be an exciting time to get back on and grind with your friends. We're going to need to change the way the rank system works in a lot of different ways, but if we want to keep the matchmaking system that we currently have, long term we do not, but if we want to keep the matchmaking system that we currently have, then we need to reset everyone back to the beginning with this new update. Let everyone climb again, whether you're Overlord or Chris Heroes, you're gonna start here at the absolute beginning ranks and you're gonna climb back up to Masters. After that, with new seasons as we go, we are going to change the way ranked resets happen. They will not happen with every single season, and to keep in theme with matchmaking, trying to match players of a higher and higher master rank rating, we are going to, for the most part, keep people at those ratings until large reset points throughout the year. This huge change will also be coming with a role queue system to Unite. Now, I know we have a role queue system in Honor of Kings, so everyone around here knows how to develop this decently well. Players will select 3 roles, their most preferred, their second most preferred, and their least preferred, and they will queue with those roles in mind. Given that depending on how queues go, and what I would expect is going to happen is most people are going to pick attackers, all-rounders, speedsters, things like that, it will be made clear to players that queue times will be shorter for players that are prioritizing supporters and defenders, given that's what's happening with our queues, and it will be made clear that those players will be getting better rewards for playing those roles. Alongside a ranked reset and role queue, we're going to have much harsher punishments for AFK and grief in the ranked mode of Pokemon Unite. If you grief or AFK consistently in the ranked mode of Pokemon Unite, you will have increasingly long bans for that mode. I understand that some people may have connection issues, and I understand some people may have connection issues up here, but regardless, if you cannot play a game of Ranked in Unite, you should not be queuing for Ranked in Unite. We have to make that system more competitive, more serious. I'm not expecting it to be the UCS, but I am expecting players that queue for Ranked to take it seriously and attempt to play the game at whatever their highest level possibly is. And if for some players that means they are in Veteran or they are in Ultra, that is great. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. For the players who just spam games all day and grief and are not playing with the team and not trying to play a game of Pokemon Unite, they will not be playing the ranked mode of this game. I understand that will shed some players, but I think overall a better ranked experience for everyone will keep our most committed players the happiest, and those are the players I'm catering to with a decision like this. I also think it will make the environment more welcoming to new players who come in and realize like, hey, everyone's actually trying in this game, rather than players spinning around griefing, pinging thanks just because they didn't get the last hit on a Bunnelby or something like that. I'm sorry for that player, but that player will not be playing ranked. And I recognize that this is actually kind of a large cost. We're going to need to investigate different reports on players. We're going to need to make sure that players aren't reporting everyone all the time. Like, that has to be punished as well. But most importantly, if players are not completing games, that is their fault, by the way, not the game's fault. We'll have to get to that. But if players are not completing games, going AFK, griefing their team, walking out of a match with 9,000 damage on Gardevoir or something like that, just because one thing didn't go their way, they have to be removed. Excuse me. I think I'm getting choked up thinking about this. They just have to be removed. They have to be removed from the ranked system. Period. They have to go. This will be a bigger undertaking, but I am committed to making the ranked experience better for the people who are serious about this game. Alongside this, we will have better ranked rewards like we used to have in the game, but I would like something even stronger than just a skin for climbing. However, you will absolutely have ranked rewards that you can unlock. I want something strong, something exclusive, something cool for the players who are grinding our game day in and day out. And speaking of players who are grinding our game, I want to remove or at least drastically change the coin cap for playing this game. Now, that's going to be tricky, right? Because it also has to go hand in hand with players playing this game in a way that's not griefing other players. I don't care if someone plays 15,000 matches of Pokemon Unite if they are not creating a good environment for players. So that is something that we need to figure out as a team, but I want players to be rewarded for putting time into this game. Time is your most valuable asset, and I want players to be rewarded for putting time in Unite. In keeping with the game having a better ranked experience, we are also going to be pulling back the curtain on a lot of the systems and stats and stuff like that inside the game. I'm not trying to put Unite DB out of business right here, but we are going to be showing the full stats for everything in the game. When you just look at the Pokemon as you do now, sorry I said Pokemons right there, please don't fire me from the Unite broadcast. As you take a look at the Pokemon right here, in the game, you can still have things that look like this, but there will be a show more section that will actually give you all of the information that you need to see right there. So Tearful Look will tell you the amount of special attack and attack of the designated Pokemon that you decrease. It will show the move speed increase. It will show every aspect of this. You will know the exact way that these stats are calculated. This also means that in the practice mode of the game, we are going to be showing every detail you could possibly look at, and hopefully you will be able to toggle on more cool things, swap items inside of it, and as a probably more long-term goal, but I want to mention it right now, I would like the practice mode to be what you can play and do while you are queuing for a match. You can go in there, put items on your Pokemon, test out your Zoroark combo while you're queuing for a ranked match of Unite. Next, on this screen, similar to how we have it in Honor of Kings, you are going to be able to watch a video explaining Inteleon, not only explaining kind of the basics of Inteleon, but how some of Inteleon's combos work and some good item sets for Inteleon and why. These will be short, they're about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes long. They kind of explain what's going on with the Pokemon's kit and how exactly it works. Oh, and as far as items are concerned, I'm sorry I didn't mention this in the short term. This is a short term. I wanted this goal like very, very early, guys. Write this down, everybody, okay? Keep me on point with this meeting here. You all have the notes, you have the PowerPoint. So if you are putting an item like, let's say, floatstone on Inteleon, I would like a little pop-up that just says, hey, did you know Inteleon is not an attack-based Pokemon? This item will not give Inteleon any increased damage because Inteleon is special attack base. Just something super simple like that would be great. Also, once you go down here to click Unite Battle, if you try to queue up a match of ranked and go to hit the start button here, instead of a queue, wow, gave me a game right away. This game is more popular than I thought. Scrap all my ideas. This game's crushing it. We're ready to go. Back to what I was saying, if you try to queue up a match of ranked, a little video will pop up and you have to watch it to understand what EXP share does. You must watch this video or you can't go into ranked. So a video will play, it will explain experience share, and then you will be able to queue for a game of ranked. You cannot queue until you watch it. We might make you watch it every day, I don't know. We are also going to be changing our ranking system in the game to a system that actually does something, right? I have no idea what this system is for right now, but it is absolutely terrible where people just cheese quick matches so that they can get some sort of high rank. Like this person has 100% win rate on Inteleon with 3,700 games. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but it's not very productive and these rankings aren't good. These rankings will need to change. They will need to actually make sense where players who are playing this game seriously and playing it well could be up on this list because right now it's an absolute disaster. Next, we're going to be heading into more long-term changes for the game, and there's more that I think we could get into right there, but long-term changes are coming, and I know that there are some things that are going to be quite tricky. So midterm, I'm hoping a couple months, maybe a quarter, we could get that done. I'm hoping by Q3, guys. But ideally, we could get a lot of this stuff done then. The long-term changes, I recognize these are some big systems, and you know, Pokemon is a huge brand. It's a slow-moving ship, but we are trying to turn this thing here. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing into the future. We talked about a big ranked reset, and we talked about roll queue and all that. I do want to split our queues at some point to either have it be solo or solo duo, and then a 5-stack queue. I think trio could stay in the game if there was compelling evidence behind the scenes that that was the way for it to play, but then we would have to have 3 queues. And what I'm trying to do here is have a system that lets players grind it from a solo perspective and lets players grind it as a team. The tough thing about having 3 different queues, like a solo queue, a trio queue, and a 5-stack queue, is I think it's going to continue to split a player base that is already having issues, and I want to try to make the player base stronger. It's probably just going to be solo duo and 5 stacks, but that's something that we need to figure out. We're going to get somebody on that. After that, long term, cowboy hat on Psyduck. Next, as a long-term goal, I want shiny Pokemon to get in the game. I have a beautiful system for how it works. It is using the current badge or ribbon system, however we call it in the game, where you get green, blue, and then gold badges on your Pokemon. The higher rating your badges, the more likely your Pokemon will spawn into a match as a shiny. It's just a really cool feature for people who play the game a lot and play their Pokemon a lot. Any Pokemon could spawn into a match as a shiny Pokemon with the current shiny odds. It's like 1 in 4,000, something like that you would see in VGC, but those odds get better and better and better the better badge that you have for your Pokemon. So that's something I want. I know that's kind of a big ask. We have to do, you know, the reskin and coloring for all these Pokemon. So that's a long-term goal that I absolutely want in the game. It doesn't affect gameplay, but I do think it would be insanely cool. Next, I would like to bring many of the features from the China version over to our global version. I'll talk more about that in a minute. First off, I really want the auto chess or the TFT style version of the game to make it to the global version very quickly. I think it's a huge avenue for new players to get into the game. It's a really popular mode, and I think it's just an absolute win. We need that in our version of the game quickly, and I think that will help. I think more people will come to our streaming category as well if we have that in the game. There'll be people who stream ranked, there'll be people who stream TFT for Unite, and I think that's I feel like that's a no-brainer. It's easy. We're already developing it, so it should be in the global version as soon as we can possibly get it. Next, unless a particular mode is supremely popular or that mode has significant changes, we will not be having returning modes in Unite. If so, once in a blue moon. But I don't want to see Panic Parade come back every so often. I don't want to see these modes get recycled so often. If they do, I want big changes in those modes. I want the next time you see Boss Rush to feel very, very different, or I don't think that mode should come back to the game, because I think you're not creating an interest point for players who have been playing the game for a long time. It is cool for new players, and I don't want them to have never experienced Boss Rush or Panic Parade if they think it would have been pretty cool. But we're not getting enough players queuing in those modes as it is because there aren't enough changes. So if it doesn't keep our player base happy, then it's gotta go. And now kind of as we head to our final section here, I talked about things for new players, right? Existing players, like some rewards for them, giving them a license right away. When we have the big map update and all of that, I would like a campaign to bring new players in. But the real push for new players is going to be with the massive update, the Unite 2 update, and that is our long-term goal. Our long-term goal that we need to be clear about is I want that version that you see in China, like all of the cool stuff, I want us to get as close to that as possible into our game. I think it's very important to have that mode, and I would remarket the game as Unite 2, or you don't even call it Pokemon Unite anymore. It's Pokemon Rally, it's Pokemon whatever it is. A ton of new people could hop on and download. I would want people who played Unite when it first came out and dropped off to download the game and go, wow, this is crazy. There's so much cool stuff, there's so much going on. So that's our big push. That's our long-term goal, to fully try to bring as much energy as we possibly can to the game. So short term, lots of good fixes that will help the game. Midterm, I think a lot of good fixes, but also real updates. And I forgot to mention this in our midterm. I want our patches to be large, bigger. I want more going on in our patches. I want you to not be able to get through a patch in a day. I want you to go, wow, they changed a lot for the start of this new season, right? So I want our patches to be bigger. I want us to take some bigger swings mechanically with some of the things going on. And I also want us to be more aggressive when a Pokemon is broken. I want us to more quickly address it. If something is coming in with a 57% win rate on a particular build right away, and it's absolutely dominating, I want us to handle that like we handled Sylveon back in the day. We need to take care of it very, very fast. Also, we need to figure out a way, not only as I talked about earlier, to give our free-to-play players more rewards and things like that with coins. We also need to figure out a way to have our paying players use some of these currencies and things like that that they can't use currently. I know some players, and I'm not going to name any names, have 587,956 EOS coins. There should be something a player like that could do, because it probably means that that player has spent over $1,000 on this free-to-play video game, and we should figure something out for that player as well. Perhaps a cowboy hat on Butterfree when it comes to the game. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. I think with me at the helm, the future of Pokemon Unite is bright, and I hope you're excited as well. I welcome all of your feedback, of course, in the comments. We will have a team dedicated, combing through there, picking out the best ideas, and banning everyone who has some terrible ones. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Yeehaw to you and yours, and get ready for an exciting year 4 or whatever it is in Pokemon Unite. Goodbye, everybody. What do you mean fired? For the ideas? Yeah. Okay. It's worth a try, though.